Hi everyone, again we're back to the Trigonometric identities part 4. Today is the 27th of April. Today we'll finish our class about, not finish part 4. Still we have some parts about trigonometry, but always, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, let's go. No. Okay, I have two problems ready for you guys. The first one, if the point 3 and 4, negative 3 and 4, I'm going to put negative 3 and 4 on the terminal side of an angle theta. What you're going to do, the first thing, I need you to draw the point negative 3 and 4. Negative 3 and 4. We are here. Right? Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have a line. This is your line. Okay. Let me just make this blue. Okay, good. Now, we always take the angle with the closest x-axis, and also remember in this quadrant, sine only positive, sine and cosecant. These two guys are positive in this quadrant only. Every student take calculus. Every time I'm going to give you example, I will give one side. Tan, cotangent, cosine, secant, all of them are what? All of them are negatives. Now, what I have to do, this 3 and 4, negative 3 and 4, okay, and I'm going to take two lines, one here. Even if I have the axis here, I'm going to take a line here. These two lines, I'm going to make it a little bold and different color. Okay. Okay. Then this is my triangle. This is my triangle. And this is my angle theta. I have to find sine theta here. Look here. Sine theta equal, this is 3, this is x, and this y. This is 3 and this is 4. And this, if you calculate as I did for you before, 3 squared. But I advise everyone to remember 3, 4, and 5. C squared, 9 plus 4, 16. 9 plus 16, 25, equals c squared. Then c equal 5. Then this guy 5. Sine theta equal opposite 4 over adjacent. I'm going to write it for you here. Sine of, over hypotenuse. Black, guys. Cosine adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay. Tan opposite over adjacent. Okay. Then sine 4 over 5. Cosine. Go ahead, guys. Adjacent 3 over 5. Tan 4 over 3. In case. Now look here. To find secant, cosecant, this is going to put negative and this negative. These two negative, this only. Cosecant now is the reciprocal of which one? Cosecant. It's a reciprocal of this guy, which is 5 over 4. Secant, reciprocal of the cosine, negative 5 over 3. Cotangent, negative 3 over 4. Now what you want, sine 2 theta. Sine 2 theta. Now we don't need this. Right? You don't need this one, right? Cosine and sine. just to refresh your memory. Sine opposite over hypotenuse, cosine. What this equal from the double angle 2 sine theta, cosine theta, which is 2 sine theta is what we just 3 over 5, 4 over 5, right? And this is negative 3 over 5, which is equal, look here, 5, 5, 25, 8, negative 24. Cosine 2 theta. What cosine 2 theta? Cosine square theta minus sine square theta, which is cosine theta here. Cosine theta is negative 3 over 5, right? Cosine theta. Let me just move this guy a little bit down. This negative 3 over 5 square minus 4 over 5 square, which is 9 over 25, 9 over 25, 9 over 25 minus 16 over 25, 9 minus over 25, because 3 square is 9, 5 square is 25, 4 square is 16, negative 7 over 25. I meant to give you this problem to prove for you that's 1. You remember this side, this equal to 1. Let us see if that equal to 1. Sine is 4 over 5 square. And this guy 3 over 5 is square. One of them negative, this guy. But since I have negative and square, there is no meaning for the negative. 16 over 25, 9 over 25, 25 over 25. What 25 over 25 equal, guys? Equal 1, which is the proof that this guy equal 1. Okay, let us see what next we have next. Yeah, I meant to have some problem here just to, what this mean? What this remind you? 2 sine, this remind you sine 2 theta. This 2 sine x cosine, 2 sine theta cosine theta, sine 2 theta. What my theta here? What my theta here? 22.5. Then I'm looking for sine 45. Sine 45 is, go to my table. Go to the table, remember the table. Remember the table, which is square root of 2 over 2. Good. Okay. Now what he wanted, what this remind you? Cosine square minus sine square. Cosine square minus sine square. What this remind you? Remind you on what? Cosine square minus sine square. Remind you on what? Remind you on what? Remind you on what, my friends? And cosine 2 theta. What my theta? Pi over 12. Pi over 12. This 2 and this 2 becomes cosine pi over 6. Good? Which is cosine, go to the table, cosine pi over 6 is 1/2. Also, I can have too many like that. I can have too many like this. Right, guys? I can have 2 cosine, another example, square 15 minus 1. What 15? What this remind you? This remind you what? Again, the same thing, cosine. Go to the formula. 2 cosine square x minus 1 equal cosine 2x. cosine 2x. Right? Then this equal cosine twice this angle 15, this becomes 30, right? Which is square root 3 over 2. Also, you can have like this also. Another example. 1 minus 2 cosine square. What? 1 minus 2 what? What this? 1 minus 2 cosine square. What? Okay. Let us make it what? 30. What is? I remember this formula. Yes, this formula is what? 1 minus 2 sine square 30. I'm sorry. Here's sine square. 1 minus 2 sine square 30. Okay, 2 cosine square and 1 minus 2 sine square. That gives you again, you remember this, the formula, right? 1 minus 2 sine square x equal what? Cosine, again 2x. Which is this cosine 2 times 30, which is cosine 60, which is 1/2 from the table. Okay, what else I'm going to give you today? I'm going to give you some formulas. Also, I'm going to verify, and I'm going to post some formulas. I'm going to show you how to verify. I'm going to start verifying some identities, because some of the students, he asked me sometimes what I'm going to do with this. My class for the upcoming 2 classes is what? Verify. Everyone likes this class, right? Verify. Let me use the blue. Verify each. Well, let me just take this secant square theta. This for some of the students, they ask me cosine square theta, and he wants me to verify that equal to sine square theta. He wants me to verify that equal to sine square theta. How I'm going to think? How are we going to think on these problems? Look to this side. What this side remind you? Secant square theta. This just to refresh, to memorize your formulas. If you remember tan square theta, right? If you go back to the first video, plus 1 equals secant square theta. You have to know this one for this tan square theta plus 1, tan square theta plus 1 equals secant square theta. What he did in this, he moved the 1 to this side. Secant square theta minus 1, you see this one? And in the other side we left with tan square